You talk about just an accessory.
Bro,
That's what it is.
I was telling my brother if LeBron had Cat,
Oh yeah,
they'll be way better than this. Danny Davis, like,
yeah,
you're not consistent at all.
for sure. Cat.
You
I mean,
think
that's it. Yeah,
wait. You think Cat's better than AD, or you think he's just more consistent? Because that's a
He's
bit
more
that because
consistent.
he's just
that's
more
what we're.
available. I just
So you're telling me if Cat was there during
The
the
2020 run.
when they won their what was it the COVID ring?
Hmm.
You think they? I don't think they win that ring.
I agree. That
I don't.
was
I
the
don't. I
only
don't think they
time.
win that ring because Cat is more available. Ooh, Cat's more available, but AD is a better player.
mm,
AD
look at
healthy is
us.
better than Cat. A million percent.
ATB, Africans talk basketball.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I'm a Coach
Mhm.
Calipari fan. I can tell you every UK basketball team from when
Oh yeah,
John Wall was there up until when Ahmad Diallo was there. Like
So now,
seriously,
it's a
like
shame they
Ahmad,
seriously,
didn't win more.
they should have won a
They
few,
should
but
have won more. Yeah.
he's got 30 kids in the league right now,
so
and they're
now,
all balling.
so
And
now
if you look
you're
at all the UK Wildcats that are balling, they're smacking Duke, they're smacking
Hmm.
Arizona, they're smacking UConn, they're smacking every other college for the last decade.
so
Yeah.
Why?
now
Because
you're a
Coach
Razorbacks fan.
Calipari coached really, really good players. They didn't
Hmm.
do it in college, but he was like, okay, these are my top three this year. Let me make sure y'all go to the league.
Hmm.
I'm a Coach Cal fan, bro. I can talk about most years, like
All
seriously,
right,
most
so
years.
you a Razorback now. So
Oh
Nah,
yeah.
I'm not
yeah,
a. I don't know what he gonna do at Arkansas, so just let that be.
Uh,
he's a Razorback.
Is that what fan are you? Wherever LeBron at. That's what
College is
Shannon
about
Sharp
money
said.
now. Now that college
Yeah,
kids can make money, they don't care about making it to the league like they used to. Now
Nah.
you can make now you can make $5 million a year as a college kid. I'd never leave. I'd never
Cardi.
leave. Oh, I forgot we're recording. Cash card.
yeah.
Hey, so welcome, welcome,
Mm.
welcome to another episode of Africans Talk Football. I know we're on our ATB Africans Talk Football for a little bit, but
Basketball, yeah, African
yeah, or
basketball.
basketball, yeah. The NBA finals got us feeling some type of way. We are multi-sport athletes, but we
Mhm.
do, we do focus on football. So wanted to get it to you guys as clearly as we could. There's only a few games left in the Premier League. It's a little bit later than we're used to posting our episodes, but how's everybody feeling tonight?
Pretty
We're
good,
hanging
man.
in there.
Hanging in there. Lucky, very lucky to be here.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, man. Blessed to see you boys again. Another week that we're all just chilling above water. And honestly, another week that some of us are chilling above water, especially when
Yeah.
it comes to football. Some of us escape by the hairs of our chinny chin chins, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Before we get into the nitty gritty, again, we have to just say thank you to all of our friends, to all of our fans, to all of our supporters, to all of our homies out there still watching. Like I just saw, we saw, live feed. We're up on YouTube right now.
Mhm.
As always, we'll try to get you these episodes as quickly as possible via YouTube, via podcast apps, via Instagram Reels, via TikTok Reels. But young Trini, we got something to talk about because I
we gotta
told
talk.
the
We gotta talk, bro. We
yeah,
gotta
I
talk.
told the boys in secret, but as we talked over the weekend, I'll say it on wax. You said, hey, if Arsenal doesn't end up getting the job done, I want to hop up on an episode. And I was very, very close to hitting you back and saying, hey, you might not be allowed on the episode if you don't beat Coventry. But you guys
No.
escaped by the hair of your chinny chin chin, so I'll still give you that respect. But but let it be known, I'm looking at you with my strong eye.
Mhm.
No
What
astigmatism in
strong
this one.
guy.
You get
Yeah.
me? Yeah, but no, man. Let's actually just start with Champions League because we are now in the quarterfinals. I know Gabriel isn't here, unfortunately, because I wanted to hear from the Arsenal fan
Mhm.
himself. But to be honest, this quarterfinal two leg matchup, it's honestly been one of the best quarterfinals I've seen in the last few years. Especially when we talk about the first leg, I believe there were the most goals since 2017 or 2016.
Mhm.
I believe they said something like that. I mean, the first leg just both games, both days,
Mhm.
there were just goals galore. And it wasn't that it was bad defense. It was just the offense was so good, and
Mhm.
the free flowing football that we saw over the first leg, we kind of assumed it was going to be like that over the second leg as well. But the second leg, we saw a little bit more defense. We saw penalty shootouts for some of these games. So
Mhm.
let's just go through what happened with Champions League, because it's very interesting now that we're in the semifinals for Champions League. We're seeing PSG beat a Barcelona team that, Barcelona looked good that first leg. If it was up to me, I would have said
Mhm.
Barcelona was going to go through, but PSG, through the strength of Mbappe, and shout out Dembele as well, because I believe he had a
Mhm.
great game.
Oh
He
yeah.
kind of made up for what he should have done in the first leg, I believe. But let's start with PSG Barca. Did you guys expect it, or was it something that was new to you? And I know the red card early, kind of influenced the
Mhm.
game, and then Xavi ended up getting a red card as well after a few bad calls, according to them. But I don't know. PSG Barca, it's been one of those Champions
Mhm.
League matchups that we've seen over the last few years, and
Mhm.
it's always been a spectacle.
Mhm.
What do you guys say about that?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I had PSG going through. I think Gabriel was the only one that picked Barcelona. Um, but yeah, I mean, just overall, I think PSG is just more built, better in my opinion than Barcelona. I mean, I just feel like in all season, Barcelona has just been kind of like in shambles as far as like finding any
Yeah.
any sort of consistency, any
Mhm.
rhythm, any run of form. Um, I mean, I know it was before the Clasico, but for you to kind of lose the way that you did, um, versus PSG, and then for you to go into the Clasico with that, I mean, that's tough. I mean, even in the Clasico, when you look at them, they were up, and then they gave away the lead, and then here we are. Real Madrid is gonna win La Liga. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm not really surprised. I thought PSG was the better team, and Mbappe got his goal, 2 goals, right?
Yeah.
2 goals. So um, yeah, hopefully they can figure it out. It'll be interesting to see where Barcelona kind of goes from here. Obviously, Xavi's leaving, but I'm
Mhm.
curious to see what they do in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give, Salam credit because he said this PSG team is one of the best in recent years, and I actually didn't believe it at first, but you might seem to be onto something. But I don't know, man. The red card influenced the game, but Barcelona, man, this year has been a weird, tough season for them because everything that could go bad in a game just does. I mean, to go out that way against PSG and then this past weekend with El Clasico, I just feel bad for them. But
Yeah.
So I
if
will
we,
say this. So I will
hmm
say this because the initial red card on Ronald Araujo, I thought, it was fair. It
hmm
was a
it
1v1.
was,
It was the obvious goal scoring opportunity,
hmm
and he took that away from the attacking player. I thought it was fair. The way
hmm
Xavi reacted, I believe, is the reason they lost, because
absolutely,
the
hmm
game was still on aggregate. It was still fair. It
yeah,
was still very, very even. The game was super open, and I think
hmm
Xavi, after the goal, it was maybe like 5 minutes later, he reacts on a potential foul that they don't get, which ends up being the reason that he gets kicked out of the game in the first half, 30 minutes in. So now you have a whole hour where you're not able to influence the game as much as you
hmm
would like to.
you're right.
You
Yeah.
can talk at halftime, you can talk through your assistant coaches, but you're not able to be, the captain behind the ship. And down the stretch, you were looking at Barcelona. They were able to equalize, they were able to get a go back, and they
hmm
still were not able to finish. And I think it's because Xavi wasn't there on the sidelines. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So at the end of the day, as good as PSG was, they weren't at home. You know what I'm saying? They were
exactly.
away. They were
hmm
going into hostile territory,
hmm
and for them, they were down a goal. So they had everything against them. Personally, I think this was one of those where you needed your management to step up. And this is where we say, I don't think the players necessarily lost the game. I think this is where they
Hmm.
needed a captain, and as tough it is, as a manager, you have to take the blame for it. You know what I
I,
mean?
I I
As a
have
leader, you have
a
to take the blame.
I have a question for you guys. I like the point you just made. Do you think him taking off Lamal was what Yamal, is that his name?
Yeah, Yamin Lamar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was it the right decision to take him off? Because I thought it was not the right decision.
I mean, I think he
He's
needed to
clearly been one of their most dangerous players. So taking him off, I don't know if I agree with it.
he needed to sacrifice somebody, especially with with the red card. So like, and he's also just like the youngest person. So I feel like sometimes
I agree, Salam.
Is,
like
is it
they're
who's
just
on it?
kind of like the easier targets. But I agree,
I
Mike. I
agree.
mean, he's definitely been the biggest bright spot of their attack this season. So although he may not warrant being taken off. But even in all that, I was still wouldn't have taken off him for. I would have kept Lewandowski on. Like I'm not taking him off for sure. The
Mhm.
other attacker was who? Was that Anthony or not Anthony?
Whoa.
Rafinha. Rafinha.
It was Rafinha.
Yeah,
I
Rafinha.
mean, it was one of
Close.
those. It
Close.
was 30 minutes into the match. You kind of just have to make a judgment call. I,
Mhm.
I understand why Yamal was the first one to come on. He's just the youngest cat, just like you said, Salam.
Mhm.
Do I agree with it? Personally, no.
Why would have taken off Rafinha?
I I wouldn't have taken off
I-
Rafinha either because he scored 2 goals in the last match.
Mhm.
No,
So
I'm saying
Mhm.
I
and
would have.
again,
I would have.
and he scored in this leg as well. You know what I'm saying? I know what you would have done, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
Salam would have definitely taken
as a
Rafinha off.
as
Yeah.
a manager, I look at the circumstance. I'm like, okay, we have a young kid who's been a catalyst for us in many games.
Mhm.
We have Rafinha who scored a brace last match. He ended up scoring a goal in the second leg as well. So like it's a tough decision. You just have to make a decision and live with it. At the end of
Mhm.
the day, they ended up losing.
Yeah.
So again, it's tough, but for me, I don't think there was a wrong decision made. I just think Xavi, this was a match where he should have shown a little bit more maturity as a manager, and
Mhm.
he ended up losing his head and they
I
lost.
agree.
So
I
at the
agree.
end of the day, this is how he's going out, bro. Like we know this was going to be his last campaign. Like he already
Mhm.
said, after this year, I'm not going to be the manager of Barca.
Yeah.
So you would think that he would want to go out with his
Yeah.
head held high, and this is going to be a stain on his jacket for me. It's a
Absolutely.
stain, bro. So I don't know. It's tough, but this was one of the big games I think we were all looking forward to
Mhm.
because we know about the remontada. We
Oh yeah.
know the history these two teams have. We know Mbappe's potentially leaving to potentially go to Real Madrid. So there's a lot
Mhm.
of storylines. So we are looking at this match like, all right, what's gonna go on? What's gonna happen? And unfortunately, Barca wasn't able to carry the torch into the next round. But
Mhm.
the other game that I thought that it ended up a little bit differently than we thought was Atleti versus Dortmund. Dortmund was able
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
shout out Dortmund, man. They
Yeah.
have had such an underrated season. I know they're not going to win the Bundesliga, but as far as what they've done in Europe this year has been very, very underrated. Like shout out to them to even getting to the semifinals. For me, that's huge.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
go ahead, Mike.
I mean, we said it at the beginning when we were making our predictions that we want to pick Dortmund, but we know how they get, and they proved us wrong. I mean,
Man's like Central.
we.
Man's like Ian Matson. Man's like
Oh
Ian Matson.
yeah.
Shout out.
I mean, Dortmund, man. You can't. They've had a good season, but it's still one of those seasons where they perform, they win our hearts and all that, and then nothing
Yeah.
comes out of it. So I mean, I'm just hoping they can move on, but I don't expect them to. um Atletico too, man. It's kind of become what they do. Like
Yeah.
since they made it to the finals, it's just they just can't finish the job. So I was surprised, but I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great for a team like Dortmund to get through. I mean, definitely one of the bright spots of the Champions League this year.
Hmm.
But to your guys' point, it's like I don't know. When you look at the other teams left in the competition, I don't know. There's just a lot more complete teams than Dortmund right now. Dortmund
Yeah.
is just they've always been that team where it's just like
Hmm.
that's a team that can show up and then you could be down 2-0 within the first 10 minutes. I don't know. Like
Hmm.
it's just I don't know. They always leak goals, and
Yeah.
that's why I even for them to for it to I feel like for it to be like a high scoring affair versus Atletico, I got to give credit to them,
Hmm.
because usually Atletico is pretty good about like controlling those legs for the most part. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, big ups to them, and we'll see who they get, but hopefully they can get a favorable draw. And um, it's great to see guys like Sancho, um, and I guess Ian Matson uh,
Oh.
play well for teams that are not theirs. But
Oh man,
It's crazy you say that
it sucks.
because I'm gonna just let that comment slide.
I don't
Anyway,
know why.
so
There's nothing like what are you
Mhm.
addressing? I'm just saying.
no, we're talking Champions League. We'll let that comment slide. So now you said that you think there are other complete teams. Let's move into the other day of matches because we
Yes.
saw a very complete two teams, two heavyweights, two juggernauts.
Mm,
A team
mm,
that just won their first Champions League versus a team that has won multiple Champions League go
Mhm.
head to head. And again, just like we've seen in years past, man, City versus Real did not disappoint.
Mhm.
It went all the way to the ting. Like this was one of those where we truly did not know who was going to win.
I
And
agree.
you ask anybody after that first leg, I think people were
Mhm.
leaning City, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think people were leaning City after that first leg, but as we've said on this podcast multiple times, as I will continue to say multiple times, you can never count Real Madrid out. Los
Nope.
Blancos, this is their ting, bro.
my
And
club.
again, stop it. Again. They showed why they are elite. They showed why they are, the grandpappies of this competition. They showed why they are always in the quarter, semi, or finals. This is just their
Mhm.
tournament, and they show
Yeah.
their class every year. I don't know what else to say. This was just a classic matchup, man. Both legs fire. Both legs fire. I don't know
What
what else to
what
say.
what are we saying about Holland though?
We know Haaland. He's a one-trick pony.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's anything
Without
like
De
new.
Bruyne gave him 50 goals last year. Without De Bruyne this year, how many does he have in the league? Come on, man. It's clear. Like it I don't want to speak bad about him because he's a world-class player, but he needs other world-class players to have him show his talents. He's not able to do everything by himself. He's not one of those players that's box to box. He doesn't have the tech like some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be fed the ball in great positions for him to show what he's great at. And until he's able to improve on the other parts of his game, he's going to need somebody like De Bruyne to make him super elite. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think Solo's been on here a few times and said it, but I've always believed they've looked. I mean, and it's hard to say that because they just came off of winning a treble, and
Sure.
like obviously,
But
don't want
that's
to sound.
it's a team sport, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just don't think that like I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that they lose much by having Julian Alvarez there and playing in that role that I feel like we're kind of used to seeing like traditional Manchester City like teams play like, you know what I'm saying? So like I don't know. I mean, yeah, like I guess I don't know. A lot of people are still like are saying that like yeah, Holland has been figured out, but he's still leading the league in goals, right? So like even in a down year, if he's putting up these type of numbers, I think it's just kind of you're just kind of nitpicking at that point. But no,
so
I think at some point though that there will be a breakup between those two. It's just a matter of when. I
so
I,
I'll
I think he's gonna do 3 years and then
so
done.
I'll ask you this. I know he's super young, but I look at his numbers and I'm like, compare him to Suarez at Liverpool. and
Mm.
what we saw Suarez do consistently over a span of 3-4 years. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Haaland
3 years.
had a very, very, very record-breaking year, and now we've seen him
Mm-hmm.
at an average, but still above average for the league year. Because just like
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
said, he's still leading the league.
Yeah.
So let's just say he stays a third year. Where do you want to see him improve? Because, like I said, we know what he's good at. In and around the box, he's clinical. He's going to be able to finish, but until he gets the ball, bro, sometimes he touches the ball 10 times a match over 90
Mm-hmm.
minutes, sometimes less than that. So if he's not included into the game plan, you can totally eliminate him and effectively take Haaland out of the match. And we've seen teams do
Yeah.
it, from Arsenal
Mm-hmm.
to Real Madrid to, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
other teams across the Prem. It's not just like the top teams that are doing it. We've seen teams get Haaland out of the game plan. So for me, that's where he has to improve. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that in Pep's system, like the people that are the most comfortable with the ball are going to be the ones who touch the ball the most, like in those
I
teams.
agree.
And like he's just not that player. He does a lot of good things, and I'm not saying that he's not productive by any means, but like he's not someone that's just gonna just contribute in the build up. He's someone that needs to just be in and around the Bucks to finish on whatever combination that they're creating. But I don't think it's a coincidence that he doesn't really touch the ball all like that, because that's not really where he's
But
effective.
no,
And
no,
I
and I
mean,
agree with you, Salam. And I'm saying I think that's a detriment to his game. I
for
think
sure.
as a
Mm-hmm.
player, a player of his profile, he should be wanting to demand the ball more. He should be wanting to get the ball. He should be one of those players. And again, he's young. I already said that. But
Mm-hmm.
I think with who he is and how good he is in and around the box, he needs to be a player that demands the ball more. And
Mm-hmm.
his, I don't want to say passive aggressiveness because that's probably not the right term, but the way that he's not able to influence the game enough with where he is and the team that he's on. Like I'm looking at City. City wants to win everything, bro. They just
Mm-hmm.
came off of trouble.
But
They
what's
were
his name
talking about a
hasn't.
potential quadruple this year. If he if he wants to stay on City and City has the ambitions that they continue to have, he's going to have to evolve his game to get better because eventually
Yeah.
players like Kevin De Bruyne are going to phase out. We've already seen that Bernardo Silva is getting looked at by teams like Real Madrid. So these players that are giving him the ball, that are feeding him the ball, that are integral to him, being good in and around the box are leaving. So for me, I'm like, bro, if City wants to continue to be this dominant team, and they already look touchable. I've been saying that all year. If City wants to
Yeah.
continue to be this dominant team, I think he needs to take an elevation in his game because we saw it against Real Madrid, bro.
I
They
just don't think he
totally took
will
him out of
though.
the match. They totally took him out of the match.
I don't think he
Yeah.
will. I don't think a player of that
But and
stature at
and
that
that's my
point. Like
point though.
I
And
don't. I
that's
don't
my
think he
point.
is.
So do we
Yeah.
so to ask you a second question, have we seen a ceiling?
But see,
Mm.
And I don't want to say
before
that
I
because he's
say that,
23, 22. I don't even want
yeah,
to go there because I think that I hate when people say that. But my point is, if we're saying that we think he needs to get better in other areas of his game, and you're saying you don't think he will, and Pep is one of the best managers in the world, one of the probably only guys that can get him to raise his level, then where do we see Haaland? You know what
well,
I'm
no,
saying?
I just think that I think the formula works. I think that the biggest problem with them this year is that KDB really hasn't played all like that.
But that's
So
my point.
like
The formula
I
doesn't
think,
work if KDB isn't playing. That
but
that's what you're
KDB
saying.
is he's a big part of the formula though. I mean,
But again, he's
he almost
32,
broke
so
he almost broke the assist record.
and that's
Like
my
Mm-hmm.
point, Salam. When things aren't perfect for City, like Kevin being hurt all year,
yeah.
like, so what are we gonna like? We haven't seen Haaland elevate his game this year. We
No,
haven't.
but I'm just saying. I'm just saying that like it's literally when he was healthy last year, they were the best team in the world last year, and they won everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like
So now you're saying City's
y-
contingent on Kevin, which I
they
truly
are. I
believe
mean,
that
they
they
are.
are.
I
But
think
my point is,
he didn't even start that game. Did he
there's
start
gonna
that
be
game?
No,
Which
Versus
game?
because
Real
Which one?
Madrid.
he just
Versus
No,
Real
he
started.
did.
Madrid.
He
He
did.
started. He started.
Yeah.
He did start. There's gonna be a City without Kevin in the future, like there is. And if
Hmm.
this is gonna be Haaland's future,
And KDB, Kevin,
I,
what's his
I
name?
I have a
Holland will
question
leave.
for you guys.
Holland will
like
I have
leave
a
when
question
like
for
Kevin
you
leaves.
guys.
and
Holland will leave when
Salam.
Kevin leaves.
No, all right. So that's my point. Have we seen the peak of Haaland? Do we
You
think he
might not
gets
be
any
wrong.
better?
You
Do
might
we
not
think
be
he gets
wrong.
better? Personally, I'm asking y'all because I'm looking at him like, bro, like we've
I don't.
seen
I
you
don't
be
think he
one
gets
dimensional.
better.
I know we joked about it all year, but it's super evident, bro. He scored 50 goals last year, and now he's sitting at 20 something.
Yeah.
All
But
because one player
To
was
answer your
not able to
question,
unlock him.
I don't think that he will get better. I think it'll. I think his numbers will look better if the situation around him is better.
But what does that mean, though? Because that
No,
like
I mean, but that's it. I just don't think that like there is no
so
going to be no evolution into his game where it's like you know how Wayne Rooney was a striker and then like later in his
became a
career
winger.
he became kind
yeah,
of like
yeah,
okay
he's
like a
And
10. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that there's that evolution there. I think that like the next move that Holland makes has to be another situation where it's like City where I'm going to get a bunch of chances and I'm going to get a lot of chances to score.
let me ask you guys this: do you guys think Foden's resurgence, the way he's been playing this year, has affected Haaland?
no.
Not necessarily. I think that someone. I think with the Manchester
Foden
City
was there
side,
before him.
there's always someone though, like in every season for Man City that like always steps up. You know, a few
Hmm.
years ago that was Gundo. A few years ago it was Bernardo. I mean, Rodri has always been
Gundo
consistent
was
for the
last
past
year.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so like, and I think Foden. To be fair, Foden had a really good year last year too. So
Hmm.
I mean, like,
I mean,
I think
Mahrez too was around, so.
yeah, I mean,
Two
Mahrez,
years ago. 2 years ago.
Grealish,
Mares.
Mhm.
like all these guys have kind of had like kind of their moment, I guess, on their like push for the end of the
Even
season. But
Cancelo a couple of years ago.
I
But
yeah,
like
just personally
so
think.
this is my thing with City. Most of their
Hmm.
players are 7.5 to 8 out of 10s every
Hmm.
single match, right?
Game, yeah. Hmm.
So what they're looking to do is higher than most clubs. They're looking to win the
Hmm.
lot. For
Hmm.
me, this is the first year in the last 3 to 4 years where we've seen them actually be touchable. Why? One, because Kevin De Bruyne was hurt. I think that's a very, very big issue. Kevin was
Yeah.
hurt all year. He is the best player on their team. He's not only effectively the best center midfielder, his IQ is able to unlock things that people don't see. And as a
Hmm.
defender, when he's on the pitch, you just have to account for him because not only was he scoring last year, he was assisting at
Hmm.
a very regular and higher pace because of Haaland. Like
Hmm.
we've seen Kevin do 10 and 10 in the league. We've never seen him do almost 20 and 20 in the league. And that's
Hmm.
what he did last year. So for me, I'm looking at City like, all right, cool. Like we knew who y'all best player is. Like he's been y'all best player. But when he's not there, who else is stepping up? We've seen Foden step up. We've seen Bernardo step up. We've seen players like, even
Rodri. Yeah.
Rodri. We've seen a lot of
Alvarez
we've
too.
seen players step up when they
Hmm.
had to, but who has not stepped up? Haaland. He
Hmm.
hasn't.
I just don't
He
think that you
hasn't
can
though.
say he
Salon,
had.
like
I
you're
just don't
giving
think
you're
that
giving him
you
you're
can't
giving
say
him
he hasn't stepped up though, because even in his
but he
absence, he's still scoring though. He's still
I'm
scoring.
not
And he's
Yeah.
still
but
Hmm.
but that's not what I'm saying, bro. I'm not saying he's not scoring. I'm not saying he's not doing his job. I'm saying when you lose a very, very big piece and you need other players to step up, you would hope that
yeah.
the big
It would
players
be him. Yeah.
are stepping up. Salam. Again, I
Mhm.
I love Haaland. I think he is one of the most elite strikers we've seen in a long time. But what I've realized this year is that without Kevin, he's very, very, very one
Mid.
dimensional. He is, and
I mean,
that's
he's
why
one
I'm asking
dimensional.
you.
Yeah, with
And
Kevin. Yeah.
but
Hmm.
again, this is why I'm asking you: do we think we've seen the because in Germany, which is a very different league where they play a high line where he's able to get in behind and just run past players? Cool. He can score 30 a season. But in the Prem, where people sit back and they're a little bit more physical and the defenders are the same height as you, and
Mhm.
now you have to see Thiago Silva and Alex Disasi and Badia Shield all at the same time, maybe you're not able to run past them. And for me, all I'm asking is he is he as one dimensional as we think, and have we seen the peak? That was my question. You're making
I
excuses
think
as to why he can do this or maybe he's not doing that. I'm just saying, bro, like we've seen the one player that could unlock him be taken off the pitch, and now that we're not focusing on this guy and letting this guy be free, now that we can focus on this guy, he not doing what he did last year. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm
I
seeing it
just
from a
think
Chelsea perspective. We were not supposed
yeah.
to tie City twice. And I'm still mad we didn't win the freaking FA Cup
Well,
match
you
because
guys,
of Nico Jackson. And that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is I'm looking at one specific player who we gassed last year. And now I'm looking at him like, okay, he's
Do
all
you
right.
not think it's a little unfair to kind of rate him on what he did last year? It was a record-breaking year.
I'm
So
not
now it's like the
I'm not
expectation is there for
no
him
no
yeah,
to
no.
hit
yeah,
that
I
every
agree.
time.
I agree. I'm not
You
rating
don't
him.
think that's part of it?
I I think that may be part of it, but I'm looking very, very objectively. I'm looking at what he's been able to do with my own two eyes. I've seen him play
That's fair.
against Chelsea 3 times this year. How many goals did he score against us, Mike?
I think two, a
How
PK and a
many
tap
goals
in. In the four, he had a
in
PK
the
and a tap in.
4-4? What did he have against
Yeah,
us? And the
he
two
has
PK,
goals.
again, we look at that PK
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It
and
was
that was
suspect,
just
but it's
and that was a
whatever.
give me goal because he wasn't doing
Hmm.
shit that game, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm
Hmm.
looking at Haaland against a team that I don't think is very that great. And I'm looking against him at Man United. I'm looking against him at a lot of other top teams, and I'm like, yo, Haaland, he did his thing, but he only touched the ball 17 times. And out of those
yeah, yeah.
17
Yeah.
times, five were in
That's
the box and one
unacceptable.
was a shot. And that's for
Yeah.
me what I'm saying. He just needs to elevate his game because for me, he's looking a little one dimensional and people are locking him down. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
fair.
That's literally
I,
all I'm
I
saying.
still think he's the best striker in the world. Like with all that
That's
being
fair.
said,
That's fair.
it's either him or Harry Kane.
Yeah, I
I
think
still
Kane
think
has it.
Haaland is up there.
I'll
Yeah.
take Kane right now.
And that's crazy. I love that segue because I just wanted to talk about Harry
Mhm.
Kane scoring against Arsenal because of
Yeah,
course where would we be if we didn't talk about the Arsenal versus Bayern Munich match?
Mhm.
Our last Champions League match. I wish Gabriel was here because we talked about
Mhm.
Harry Kane being able to find his goal and he ended up finding his
Mhm.
goal. I don't know, man. As much as I've been gassing Arsenal this year, I don't know what it is about the month of April, but they just crumble.
Yeah.
It's they
it's
say
early. It's
Pressure
early.
is
It's
on.
early.
April showers bring May flowers, but they may not be looking at, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
Mhm.
too much this month. It's crazy because I honestly have been looking at Arsenal this year with Declan Rice. I was like, yo, this team is strong. And we saw them get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We saw them against
Mhm.
Bayern, and we were like, this is going to be a good matchup.
Mhm.
As it was,
yeah.
It was, yeah.
you guys did not believe in Arsenal as much as I did last
Mhm.
week. I just want to hear your take on the match and what you guys thought about how everything transpired.
Yeah, I just wanted to just quickly say that, like, all banter aside, all banter aside, um, I think,
Same old Gunners.
no, I think all banter aside, though, you got to give it up for Arsenal. Like this season in the Champions League, they had a good run. I 100% believe that. I think
I
that
don't.
for they got to the quarterfinals, right? They got to the quarterfinals. It's a relatively young team. I understand that this is still like the what I believe is like the evolution of what this team is now. When is the cutoff? Like when is the final part of this project?
Here
I'm
it
not
is. Here's the
sure.
real. This is what I was waiting for.
In my opinion, for Arsenal, I feel like when they get a striker next year, I think at that point, like like that's it. Like you guys have to be. This has
Okay.
to be. This has to be the moment now where you're like, okay, now like we've gotten all the pieces, we got all of our guys in, we can go. And I think that this year was a step in that direction. Now, the disappointing part is when you look over at Bayern, this is probably one of the weaker Bayern sides that we've seen in a while. So,
Mm-hmm.
on paper, you would think, and especially just kind of how Arsenal has done all season, you would
Yeah.
think that they would kind of just just run through them as I predicted. I was
Mm-hmm.
100% thinking like there's no way the Bayern gets through this with Eric Dyer playing in the back, but I don't know, man. It clearly shows that the leadership and the experience. I wouldn't say leadership, but I would just say the experience of
Mm-hmm.
that Bayern group.
Bayern.
Obviously, is what did it. But at the same time, there was a lot of players that I personally thought would have some moments. Those Champions League moments, those like kind of stamps, sometimes like
Mm-hmm.
those statement
Who?
games. And
Who? Name them.
Yeah,
Name them.
say the name, Salam.
Yeah, no, we
nah,
not on no. We
Wimbledon.
ain't. Gabriel's not here. You don't have to be shy. Talk about it.
no, it's not about being
Because none
shy.
of us are in Champions
I
League,
I
so we
tell
can talk as
I tell Gabriel.
lesser than today.
I tell
Talk
Gabriel.
about it.
The reason why the reason why I don't say anything is because this is the time of year where Gabriel starts leaving the show a little bit early. You know what I'm saying? So I usually just don't say anything out of
Mm,
just
What that got to do with us?
nah,
He's not even here
nah.
right now. He can't
no
even
no
leave early.
here's what I'll say. I don't even want to call him by his first name. I'll call him by the Englishman, the right winger for the English national team. That guy, I don't
Limp
know,
man.
man. I
Call
don't
him.
know. The
So
guy with the new
you talk about BS.
I got BS. I'm talking. It looked
You
like
talking
straight
about
BS.
BS?
The guy with the new hot sauce, yeah, that guy. Because I don't know, bro. I just thought that was a terrible performance. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Let me say this. Y'all been dancing around it. You said
I ain't dancing around it.
quarterfinals was impressive. Let me tell you why it wasn't. They beat Elon's team that wasn't that good. They
Hmm.
barely skated past Porto. They
Hmm.
beat Sevilla, who's what 12 in La Liga.
Yeah.
And guess who finished in the quarterfinals last season? Chelsea with Graham Potter. It's not that impressive. Let's not give these guys,
Oh
it's
God.
not.
Wow.
Oh
No
God. Oh
participation
God.
trophies around
Oh
here.
God.
Like,
Like
let's get
thank
to the real deal. It's like, so if they go without winning anything, has it been a successful season? Like, let's be real. What do you guys think? I personally don't think so. Because
no. We we
if
we've been said this though. Like at least we've said this, and
Mhm,
that's why I always ask everyone at the top of the year what their expectations are, and then halfway through what are
mhm,
bro. Halfway through, our expectations are still the same.
mhm.
Yeah.
Halfway through, my expectation was Chelsea finishes top 6. Halfway through, Gabriel was talking about, oh, we're still top of the league. Halfway through, Salam's talking about top
Uh,
4. So I know narratives change throughout the year
Oh
mhm.
because we
man.
see what happens week to week.
Yeah,
But I just like to get a little temperature check. That's why I get a temperature
yeah.
check because
I-
I know what I believe about my team. Whether or
Mhm,
not they are able to go week in, week out and do it, I see us play week in, week out, and I know what
mhm,
I believe.
mhm,
So when I ask y'all, it's just really to check what y'all believe. It's not what we see because what
mhm.
we see and what we believe are two totally different things. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
I mean, they have to get the prem now. I feel like if you're not gonna get the my personal opinion, I thought that the this might sound crazy. I I, I thought that the Champions League was a better opportunity for them than the actual
I
Premier League.
agree. I
We
completely
all
agree with
said
you.
that. We all
But
said that on the
I
pod.
mean,
We said
yeah,
one, you only have to see him twice.
yeah,
Mhm.
The-
and then
These
you never
teams
know on
don't
the
know
week.
you. You look
Yeah,
like you're a better team than
Mhm.
Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
But they did look like the better team, though. I
They
will
did,
say that
and
though.
that's
They did look like the better team, and
and
then
Yeah.
but
we all
I'm just
agree on
afraid that it's gonna be, like the old Wenger days. Remember the conversation we had earlier.
Oh
You
yeah.
can you can have all the possession. I will take the 3 points. I'm gonna walk home with the 3 points, and that could
I,
happen to them.
and
I
no
just think
shade.
Go
I
ahead.
just think Arsenal fans. This is where we have to get real with Arsenal fans. That whole Bukayo Saka hype, and this is what us other fans with other big teams talk about. Y'all like to put this guy in this ranks. Oh, he's the best, right winger in the world. Where was the best right winger in the world in the Champions League when you needed him?
Yeah,
I think he's their best player coming up. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like all those Arsenal boys, Bukayo is one guy I have no doubts about. But the progression, it's like
yeah,
Arsenal fans can't just allow him to
yeah.
progress. And then when we're asking for, our money back in a game like Bayern when you didn't show up, oh, it's abuse. Oh, this that. No,
Yeah, it's abuse. Yeah,
you
mental
guys,
health.
you guys didn't
I
put
know.
him there. You guys put him that high. So we're asking questions. Hey, where was he?
Yeah,
Wasn't this the guy you guys told us was world class?
yeah.
Didn't show up. So like with Arsenal, my thing. You know where I've stood. Everybody knows where I stand with these Arsenal guys. I don't expect them to win anything. I think last season I was telling Gabriel when he was like, "Oh, the Saliba injury," and I was like, "I mean, they're still close. Like, let's not. They're still at the top of the league. Let's be for real." But you're going against Liverpool and City, who are more seasoned. They've done this before. I don't know. I'm just nervous because I still think there's a chance they can do it, but they're not completely out. But I still think if they go without winning the Prem, it's a failure.
I mean,
I
now with City knocked out of Champions League. I mean,
Mhm.
you already know that
Yeah,
they're gonna be
yeah,
like this game in
all
hand.
the top three knocked out of Europe.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's go time.
yeah. It's go time for them. They're already. I'm sure they're probably motivated to see that they drew us
Mhm.
in the FA Cup final. Because
Uh,
I mean,
speaking
but
of
no,
it,
I mean, but that's at the end of the season, so they'll be able to kind of wrap up what they have to wrap up. And that's the thing, Arsenal. I can't wait till we do predictions. Arsenal Chelsea is going to be such a big game. That's going to be wow. That's going to be fireworks. But you got to give it up to Bayern. Everything that they've kind of gone through this season for them to kind of get through. Um, and beat this Arsenal side, you got to give it to them and Tuchel. So he's gotten a lot of slack this year. So I feel like we got to give him credit for getting them through in spite of all the injuries that they've had. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna really guess them like
I mean,
that because I think they
you got to
still.
give him credit though. I
I
mean
mean,
that's
I think they
still.
still underperformed in the league, but what they're able to do in Europe has been admirable for sure.
But even like for Bayern, like to Mike's
I'm
point
talking
about
about Bayern. I'm talking about Bayern.
no, I
I ain't talking
know.
about Arsenal.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, when Mike was talking about Arsenal and saying like it wouldn't be a good season for them. I think when you look at Bayern's season, I mean, I guess nothing would make it like great unless they won the Champions League. But I
Yeah,
think I think if they got to the semis, it'd be like, you know what? Like, in spite of all the problems that we've had for us to get to the semis, like,
no, dude. I'm not hearing that for these top clubs that expect greatness every year, bro. Bayern won the Bundesliga 11 years in a row.
no,
They
I
won
understand that. I'm just
like
saying for the next
so for
person
them.
coming in,
All right, so
for the next
you,
person coming in, though, for the next person coming in, for you to be like, if I'm the coach that's walking in there, the next coach, and I'm saying, okay, the year before was one of the worst years that they've had, and in all that, they still made it to the Champions League. I have something to work with here.
you're right. I agree with
Like,
that.
but
I'll
yeah,
agree with that.
in
I
terms
agree
of
with that.
objectives for the year, like yeah, it's a massive disappointment. But
You're right. You're right. I'll take that because they they still have a lot to show for this squad.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, you're not going to win the league every year. It'd be nice, but you're not
yeah,
going to win the
yeah,
league every year. You did
for
it
sure.
11 years in a row. So for them to be in the semis right now for the Champions League, they have nothing to worry about. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
but
But
let's
yeah,
get
man,
into it,
let's
man.
yeah, I was gonna say
Let's
let's
get
switch over
going.
to the Prem. We actually talked about Europe a lot longer than I thought we would, but let's go ahead and switch gears. I mean, honestly, where do we want to start? Because there was
No,
a
let's
lot
get
that went
into
on.
it. Let's
Chelsea. Start with Chelsea. We lost.
oh yeah, that's right. You guys were before us anyway. I mean, let's be honest. I didn't expect Chelsea to be Manchester City. But the disappointing part was just I knew you guys would concede. And you held for what the better part of 80 minutes,
83 minutes.
83 minutes, right? And then it's just kind of like when you watch that Bernardo Silva goal go in, it's like, you know. But I will say though, you
That's
guys,
that's not the issue though, Salam. That's not the
no,
issue.
no, no, like all banter aside, I will say, I feel like you guys are one of the few teams that have actually went toe to toe with City every time that you guys have played them this year, and kind of made things difficult for them, regardless of like what the final result was. I mean, I think that that's something that um
Yeah.
I feel like you guys just do like just enough. It's just that little bit extra of
hmm
getting the ball over the line or whatever the case may be. But y'all have had a good go at City this year.
I mean, I would say this goes into Chelsea history as one of the horror shows. Every Chelsea fan can remember Bakayoko at Watford, Ziyech at Zagreb. This is one of those games. Like this is, I've been a Nicholas Jackson guy. Give him time. He's gonna come. He's gonna. But bro, what a performance! This was a horrible performance.
Yeah,
I have
No
When you
words.
talk about heads gone, this guy heads gone. I mean, I'm just bro, simple header. Place the header into the corner. That's it. He
yeah,
couldn't even do that. You went around the keeper. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures around social media.
yeah.
Wide open, just tap it with your left foot. Couldn't do that. I mean, this was
He's short on
everything our
pace.
season has been about. Just we can't put together a clinical performance, a complete performance, and I mean, yeah, we have played City well, but I didn't go into this game thinking, "Oh, we're not going to do anything." I was expecting us to do something. We got good chances to score, and we didn't. And it's been the story of our season. I can't even say much. This one lies on the top of Nicholas Jackson's head, and I hope he comes out of it. It's that simple. Like, let's be for real about it. Like, the chances fell to you. You had the best clear chances in the game, and you didn't put it away.
Yeah, man.
That's how Cornelius feels right now. He's just like,
Yeah,
I
bro. Like
don't
I
have
I
anything.
don't have any patience for these kids. I like I really don't. And that's probably something that I have to work on because I'm very impatient. But dude, man, I mean, the issue is with this team, I've seen everyone play at such a high level
Hmm.
Mhm,
that I've seen what they're capable of. And then I've seen instances like the FA Cup final where it's just rubbish. Like as a striker, you can't come out of that game with any excuse. You had
mhm,
mad service. You had
mhm,
opportunities. Like you played the full match. So
mhm,
for me, I'm looking at you like as a striker, our defense did what they're supposed to do. They're out there fighting. They're out there working their ass
mhm.
off to make sure that we can do our best to and the goal that happened, you know,
I wasn't
good
even mad for
good
for
goal. Like honestly, good goal.
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Mhm,
It's football. You're gonna
mhm,
get scored on every now and then. So if it's a good goal, you could just say, hey, shouts out to them. But at the end of the day, the opportunities that we had is
mhm,
why every Chelsea fan is going to look at our team in disgust because we know that we're not the best that we've ever seen. We know
mhm,
that we're going through our growing pains, but we also look at the match and we're like, yo, everyone is. Oh, All 10 players behind our striker are working hard to make sure our striker is in an opportunity to score.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did we give him 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, yo, he had 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, guy, at the end of the day, if you have 5 chances, that's one every 15 to 20 minutes. Score the ball, please.
Put at
Please.
least one in.
Please, that's all I have to say about that. Our team is in a very good spot, but we're
I
gonna have to
agree.
grow up. We have to grow
I
up
agree.
because
Yeah.
it's cute when it's your first year on a club and you've never been in the Prem and oh,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what it's like playing for a top 3, top 4, top 5 club. No, 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 no. Next year, I don't want to hear none of that. And I was
Oh yeah.
already almost done with a lot of the excuses from a lot of our senior players last year. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm looking at this like growing pains. I just have
Yeah.
to. I just have to be.
I'm right there
I
with
just
you.
have to be namaste and just say
Exactly.
pains. This is the first year with
Mm-hmm.
Pochettino. Whole new manager, whole new players, whole new idea. Namaste.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, I'm not taking none of this at
No.
all. At
No.
all. Because I've seen what we were able to do with a very, very topsy-turvy club this year. So next
Mm-hmm.
year, I want more stability, and I need to see us jump over the hump. That's it.
I agree.
That's it. We want to move on to United.
Let's do it.
Go ahead, man.
Fake
United.
fake offside lines, man.
What
Oh
did
man.
I think Anthony did this?
Let let
That
let let's
guy.
let's start.
I put that. I put that on my story.
Let's
Shameless.
let's start by saying exactly what Pep Guardiola said. Respect Coventry. Respect Coventry. And I said
Yeah.
this, and I said this last week, and I'm glad that we got this on wax because I didn't even know that it was going to be a match like this. But Coventry, what they were able to do over the last 3-4 years, their owner, their manager, they sold the right guys and they brought in guys that were going to improve their team. And for them to even get to the semifinals of the FA Cup, hats off to them. Hats
Mhm.
off to them. And Haji Wright, you weren't off sides, brother.
Shout out Haji.
Haji Wright, you were not off sides, brother. No cap, Haji Wright. If you
Mhm.
want to come on this podcast, Africans Talk Football TV, we're based out of Ohio here in the States. We've been rocking with you. We're U.S. men's national team fans.
Oh yeah.
Haji, you come tell us from your own point of view what you thought was gonna go on. No cap,
You were on side. You were on side.
bro,
Mhm.
I mean, we're all looking at this match like, yo,
Bro, that
you
line
not
was crazy. I was
very
like,
finicky, very finicky,
I
shaky
mean,
at best, shaky at best.
yeah.
Go ahead, Salam.
no, I mean, I just you got to give it up to Haji Wright and Coventry. I think as a United fan, like it's crazy because like the past, obviously since Sir Alex has left, it's been tough as a fan. But yesterday's feeling was crazy because it was like we won, and then it was just kind of like once the adrenaline and the excitement of the win kind of wore off. Like the reality starts to kind of settle in, and um as Young Trini says, we didn't deserve to win. A lot of people say deserve. Honestly, I think you earn everything that you get.
It's football. It's
Um,
football.
it's
Do you think
football.
you do you
Football is
think you
very
earned?
unforgiving.
Do you think you earned the
I
win?
think absolutely. I think you can't say that we didn't because I think when it came down
Here
to
we
it,
go.
The
right?
PKs, yeah.
Yeah, the PKs.
Mhm.
That was a part of the game. When it came down to it, obviously,
That's
yeah,
true.
the tragedy is that we were up 3-0 and we squandered that lead.
Mhm.
And we almost lost that game, but by the grace of VAR and their opinion,
Mhm.
they said it was disallowed and we went into extra time. But no, I think when it came down to it, we needed to make our penalties. Our keeper needed to make a save, and he did. So I think Onana made up for it. For me, he made up for the second goal, the one where he just kind of just waited there and like he just
Oh,
kind of
that one
waited
was
for a
tough.
second.
That one was tough.
No, man,
If
bro,
you if you've been a keeper before, I feel like
Okay, I
You
get it, Mike, but
understand?
I mean, like he was up in the air for a minute though, and I counted like like one Mississippi, two Mississippi.
Bro, I swear I thought it was going over. I really thought it was going over.
I honestly think all his weight was on the like his left foot
Yeah.
because he
Hmm.
had to
Yeah.
go. Like honestly,
Well, you gotta lose some weight. I don't know.
it
Like
looked
you
bad,
you need to be lighter on your feet.
bruh.
What
Nah,
are you talking about, man?
it looked terrible. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah. That
I'm
was a
with
tough
Mike.
one.
I'm with Mike
Yeah.
on this one, bro. His weight is all the way over here. It's looping off a deflection. It looks like it's
Yeah.
gonna go out. Like
Well, yeah.
it's one of those where like I don't think anyone would have saved that.
Well,
Nobody. I'm
then
talking
I
about
mean,
Dita,
Yeah.
like Prime
Nobody. Yeah.
Casillas,
Wicked
nonetheless,
whoever,
deflection. That
bro.
one.
Like
Yeah.
nonetheless, he still had to make his penalty saves, and he did. So I mean, you have to give credit to the keeper there. But
Hmm.
um, I think it's embarrassing though, man. I think for us to be going toe to toe with the championship side like that, not even no disrespect to Coventry, but Coventry's not a side that's like even like
Competing to come in the prime.
competing,
Yeah.
yeah, competing to come into the Prem. They're not even like in the playoffs. Like this is just a team that's like a mid-table team, and I mean, for 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 about half an hour after like 60 minutes, obviously once the subs were made, we
Yeah.
went,
What's up with this Garnacho? Why is he
well,
always taking him off? It seems like whenever he takes him off, you guys just
yeah.
squander the lead. What is that about?
So here's my thing.
Yeah. How do you
I
feel
I
about it?
I
Let me hear it.
I think that the performance is definitely on the players, like the players that were in at that particular moment. I think what the manager is responsible for is putting the team out, putting a good team out. We were up 3-0, so in that regards, he did his job. But another part of your job is also managing the game, and I feel like with your substitutions, that's one thing you've consistently gotten wrong for a very long time now. You clearly have favoritism. You clearly are afraid to sub certain people off. Why? Probably because you know that if you sub them off, you'll probably lose the dressing room and your job because
Like
they'll
who? Like who?
because they'll complain. No, we know. Marcus and yeah, Marcus and them. Yeah, but no, I just think that it's crazy though. For a second game in a row, you have to sub off Garnacho because again, you can't really sub off who you really need to sub off.
So you agree with him subbing him off?
No, he subbed
Oh,
him
okay,
off
okay,
because
okay.
he couldn't sub off Rashford, and it's
Yeah.
like you sit here and you back this guy, and it's just kind of like you fail to realize that Garnacho has really bailed you
Yeah.
out a
Hmm.
lot of moments this season.
Yeah.
But back to the point when we were talking about earlier with Yamal, it's like it's easy to take him off
Yeah.
because
He's a young
it's like
guy.
it's a young guy, and it's kind of and you can see it in his face. Like you're just like I
he
mean,
knows he's
yeah,
going to be first off, and he's like, damn, you.
Hmm.
yeah, but it's the
Everyone's
same thing.
as a player, you've been in that position where you know you're
Yeah.
probably going to be first off, even though you don't.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You
Hmm.
shouldn't be. You
especially
should not
considering
be.
when you look on the other side of on the other wing, and it's like
He's not doing anything
he's
either.
not doing anything for me to get taken off per se. But
Just look at GA's the last 5 matches. That's all you got to
yeah,
do. Just look
Crazy.
at
but
GA
Yeah.
last 5
yeah,
for everybody on the club, and
but
then
it's
tell
not
No,
me he
just
no.
should be
him.
taken off.
I would say
Seriously,
this about Fernandez though. The last couple of games, I think he's stepped up for you
we're
guys.
not talking Bruno. We're talking
Yeah.
Rashford specifically.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
Bruno.
I want
Yeah,
to make sure because I give Bruno a hard time. Like the last,
no, for
I'll say
sure.
3-4 games, he's really came through for y'all.
I
Yeah,
would agree.
Stepped
absolutely,
up.
absolutely. And the one thing that's underappreciated about Bruno is he's available. He does not miss
Yeah,
games.
doesn't
Like
Yep,
I
miss
know
games.
you're
that
Yeah.
right.
regardless of, it's very easy to say, like let's replace him, but
Hmm. Hmm.
he's one person that I know is going to be on the team sheet. Like
Oh
he'll
yeah.
be fit. I don't have to be worrying about if he's not going to play. So in that regards, yes. But again, you took off Kobe Mainu. and it's just kind of
Yeah, it makes no
like
sense.
you clearly are afraid to take off some of the people that are on the team, and for
Yeah.
that particular reason, I do have an announcement. I do have an announcement,
Is that where
and
he
it's
switched on
sad,
you?
and it's sad that like we've gotten here. I gotta write this down. This is gonna be the timestamp. But
We're an hour in, Salam. 59 minutes and 40 seconds. What you about to say? Drop a bomb real quick.
ET out.
nah, I
How
Eric
many hogs are you at?
Yeah. Let's check that. How many hogs we on?
Not
to,
10
to,
hog, clearly.
no, to be fair, I'm at like a six. I'm at a six because well, here's my thing. Here's my thing. What I know for a fact is that these players need to go. We need new players. We need a cleansing of the squad. But one thing that I absolutely know for a fact is that I think in order for us to get where we need to be as a club, I think we
Mhm.
need a manager with personality. I think we need a manager with a clear idea and a vision on what he wants to do.
Wow.
Um, and I think that we need someone who's not going to be afraid
Yeah.
um, to 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 sit personalities
Mhm.
or discipline, situations that need to be handled. So for that particular case, I think he should go 100%.
Wow.
At
Wow.
the
So,
I think
are you saying that you're
I
10
think
hog out?
at the end of next season, because he has three
Oh,
years. So he has
Mhm.
3 years. He has three
that's what I
years.
wanted to ask.
He has three
Okay.
years. This is his second year. He's in the FA Cup final. He won the Carabao Cup. For me, it's not even so much about winning the cups because Van Gaal won an FA Cup and we sacked him. Like in a
I want to say this before you finish. I've known you since Sir Alex,
yes.
Van Gaal,
Yep.
Moyes,
Moyes.
Mourinho, Ole,
Yep.
and Ragnick, and then now Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Out of all those guys, Ten Hag has been the only one you've really defended. Like you stood behind him a lot,
Yeah.
and,
Absolutely.
and I get it. Players have to go, but like, do you really believe he can? Okay, if he wins FA Cup, does he go more than that 1 year? You think he should? But if he doesn't win, do you still keep him that 1 year?
No, but that's the thing. I think at this point we are in no position to renew him. We should not renew his
Who
contract.
are you bringing in then?
But so here's the thing. The reason why I'm saying that he should stay one more year and not renew him is this summer needs to be the start of cleansing the squad. We need to start getting some of these guys out of here.
I
We'll see.
agree.
We'll see what he does by bringing in the players that I guess he wants. The only reason why I'm hesitant even in regards to that is because the players that you have brought in, either it's
Bust.
like
Yeah.
they're very hit or miss. You just don't play them either. Like
Mhm.
Amrabat, I don't know. You don't even play Amrabat.
I'm a
Like
boss.
Amrabat. Yeah.
That was
No.
weak. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but like no, but I just think that it's not like he can steady the ship while we get this process going. But by the end of that third year, I think he should go. But I don't see how getting rid of a manager now and just bringing someone else in helps this situation because I personally just think that we're not gonna get anywhere until some of these guys leave. That's just
But this summer there are some really good coaches available. You have Xavi, you have
we're not getting
Amarin,
Xavi.
you have
Who else?
possibly Xabi Alonso.
Xavi
Uh,
Alonso is not coming to us.
you have
The
Tuchel, you have Mourinho still available.
Tuchel
Conte is
Potter.
still available.
What? Tuchel
The
Potter
Zerbi,
Southgate. Deserby.
yeah, he's
Deserby.
not renewing. He's done after this season.
Spin the block with Jose. He get you right.
Yeah,
No,
Jose
but
was the one.
but here's the thing. I mean, and we'll see.
You
I
only
think
need him for a year and a half. You know he's not good up to 3 years. So you
Yeah, you're right.
you get him for a year or two. Maybe he gets the right players out, and then starts to transition, and then bring
Hold on.
you know.
Let
but
me ask Young Trini something. Let me. So in the last 2 years, Ten Hag has about the same amount of trophies as Arteta.
yeah,
I mean, I don't think he's had a bad 2 years.
That's so
United just
crazy.
don't look good on the eye. That's the only thing. Like when we look at United in the league, they either win or lose, but
yeah,
they're still in a spot for Europe. Like it might not look good, but
yeah,
they're not
yeah,
Chelsea
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, but they actually have like a style of play. They have like you can see like their process of like of where he started with them and where they are now. Like they started to cleanse the squad. They started to get
Mhm.
his guys in there, and then they started to grow as a team. Which is why I'm saying like by the end of this year, okay, if we start getting some of these players out
Mhm.
and we can continue building off of what we have here, then who knows? But the one thing that this guy has shown is that he's not going to play the way that he played at Ajax. He's came out and said that he wants to play this counter-attacking side, and that's what was disappointing about the Coventry game. It's just kind of like, how are they going like? Why is it every game we're like under the cosh? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
we're
every
just getting
opponent.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Like
And
it
I'm
doesn't
just
even
kind of
matter.
like, yeah, but I mean, I just don't see how like a new manager comes in and changes anything, because unless the players change, none's gonna happen.
That
These
I agree with you.
so I
I
mean I
think
think
United should pull the trigger on Rashford like Chelsea did with Mason Mount. It's okay. No, I've been thinking about it. Like I don't see y'all getting rid of him, but you guys are at the same spot we were at. Oh, academy kid, he's came through. You know, he's been huge for you guys in big moments. Champions League, Paris, all those things stack up, and they know like a lot of fans are not going to be happy.
See, this is why Rock.
But
Sorry.
you got to make that decision.
no,
I
but
think you got to let
I
him
think
go.
it's a very easy again. If these people look what Papa said though, can't stay for long. But I hate to see, but I see.
Appreciate you, Papa. Thanks for coming.
He
Who does
said, but
Papa
I
support?
Papa kind of support.
Liverpool, but because it
Nah,
was
he
Mane, but
used to be
Mane's
like
not there anymore.
he used to be a
Yeah, I
Barcelona
know he
fan.
said I got leads. So okay,
Yeah.
He was a
all right.
Barcelona fan. Papa was a Barcelona and a Real Madrid fan at the same time. It was
All right,
weird
so
in high
I'm already
school.
not listening to him.
But
Uh,
Sorry.
like, I don't know.
Hey, I still follow the brand though. I hope the brand going strong, brother.
Yeah, he
But
said, "I
I
see the
mean,
one."
Mhm.
He said, "I see the one I was coming to see is not here."
yeah, Gabriel not here. He already know. He already know. He
Oh
already
man.
know it.
No, man, mad love to Papa. No, but my thing
Not
is
love, bro.
listen,
Mhm.
if these guys who are watching the thing, if they have the power that they say that they have, I don't think a lot of these decisions are going to be very easy. Cash in on Marcus Rashford, 90 million. Go
You
ahead,
know why I think it would be easy? New ownership. Same with
very
Chelsea,
easy.
man. Like
Yeah.
I was telling you, like before we started, the reason why I think they're gonna let Ten Hag go, new ownership, they want to get in their own guys. They don't have attachments to these guys. So
But I
if
feel
you
like
guys are serious, you could get rid of Rashford and get Leao.
yeah,
That is
but
an
my thing
upgrade.
is, listen though, I hear you though, Mike. But my thing is this: like, if you're Ten Hag, and this is what tells me, like, either he has a problem with this, or like the club is telling him that he needs to do this. My thing
Mhm.
is if you understand that like there's like there's new people in charge here,
Mhm.
like, and you have a player like this who's clearly not like performing to even just like a standard level.
Yeah.
So then, like, why is he still showing that like favoritism show like towards him, as if like, like because he's thinking like, yo, if I drop him, then he's going to completely lose it. He's going to
See,
be upset and he's going to be mad. So
and
is that the
and
club telling him that, or is he can he just not
no, see,
manage?
but this what this is what has been my problem with Ten Hag. If you look at the Ronaldo situation, and then you look at the Sancho situation, and then you're looking at the Rashford and even Anthony situation and even Garnacho,
Yeah.
he has not been consistent in the
Yeah.
way he handled all of those things. So
Yeah.
it's like I can't rate you as a manager if you. So I agree with you. If you treat one guy like this and you treat the other guy a different way. So is that coming from the club or is that coming from him? And as the manager, I have to assume it's you.
Yeah.
Because if you look at other managers like Klopp, Pep, even Jose, even Tuchel at that time, they
Yeah.
were not afraid to make those decisions. So why is he holding back?
Not
But
wrong.
we've heard. I mean, Jose said it, Ragnick said it. You don't have that control. You got the manager at United does not have that control, and I think it's part of it. But I don't rate Ten Hag highly, but I still don't think he will be the one. I think you have options out there. I think if you bring Conte in, he changes this thing. He turns it around. I think you bring
Okay.
Mourinho in, he turns it around. Y'all just need somebody in there that is grown to challenge these guys at the top. And that's what Mourinho was doing, and they let him go. These guys have to understand the manager has to put pressure on us for us to perform.
Yeah.
And that's what these big managers do. That's what Pep does. That's what Club does. Like, bro, Club wanted Lavia, didn't get him, wanted Caicedo, didn't get him. The pressure was on for them to find somebody. They did
Yeah.
find somebody who Endo has been good for them. So it might not be signing, like top level guy or whatever, but you have to satisfy the manager. You have
See,
to satisfy the
Trini,
manager.
I said
Like,
that verbatim. I
bro,
said spin the block.
I said
But
it from the
See?
day they
I just feel
fired him.
like
It was the wrong decision.
no, but yeah, but
Mourinho
even with
is the
Jose,
perfect guy for you guys.
yeah,
You
but we
need
need
a man
someone
with
who's gonna be like there
personality
long
in the
term
room.
though, man. We need like a long term like we can't just with Jose. We already know it's gonna be 2 3 years and then he's out.
But
Like
but but so we're already getting like kind of into the weeds with this, but so for me, you guys need someone that's going to clear house. Get you guys need a Mark Jackson. You guys need somebody that's going to coach the Warriors into becoming the Warriors, but he may not be the guy that's going to get you to where you want to be. But you need a Mark Jackson to kind of be that interim 2 3 year guy, clean house, get in the style of play, the players that he wants, and then maybe you get somebody else. But Jose, even being a Mark Jackson, he might win you an in-season tournament. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get you a FA Cup. He's going to get you to a Carabao final. He might even get you to, we'll get to the semis of the Europa League or whatever you guys are in next year. I personally think that Jose is a guy that's very old school, but you need one of those type of guys to get you back to where you want Manchester United to be. Personally,
yeah,
I think it's a good fit because I love Jose. I've said it multiple times, he's my forever manager. But we know what he's good at and we know what he's bad at, for better or for worse. And I think right now Manchester United needs some guy like him because of what he's good at. To go and just be he's going to put his foot down, he's going to do what he has to do whether or not the board likes it. And if in a year or two it doesn't work out, then you sack him. But if in a year or two it does work out, then maybe you give him the third year and then you
You
sack him.
you
But
know
it's like
why?
you know who Jose is.
Yeah, point on. You know why I like Jose is because if somebody as crazy as Abramovich was able to hire him, keep him for 3 years, let him go, and then rehire him,
Twice.
yeah,
Abramovich knows. He knows. And no nonsense guy was like, I have to give it back to this guy. He just can do the job. And I think you guys are at that point. But I don't think they're going to go for him because he's definitely going to challenge you guys, the
yeah.
board, and all that. And I don't know if they're going to be able to handle it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Young Trinity makes a good point here. I mean, we get all these guys. I just, and from what I'm reading though, a lot of these guys don't start until like mid June though. So that's definitely like United fashion to like be. You know what I'm saying? Like even though like we got
Them
all
like
these guys
dogs.
in place, it's still like yeah, like you're still late to the thing. We don't. But nah, man. I think the most important thing is that we're through to the FA Cup final, two finals in a row for Eric Ten Hag. Um, And that's the thing. Like, I don't even think winning it really does anything to his like. Doesn't really
I
sway me.
disagree. I disagree. Though I feel like if he wins, he definitely gets more time. It makes it difficult to let him go. If
So
he doesn't win,
if he wins, he definitely gets that third year.
yeah, I think so. I 100% believe it. But if
I
he
guess
doesn't win, it's easy to get rid of him.
yeah. I mean, if he doesn't get Europe though, even if he gets Europe, well, what if he gets Europe?
Champions League is you guys' level. Europa will not be enough.
Yeah, you're right.
Europa won't be enough. No.
I ain't gonna hold you. He's out of here. Yeah. He's out of here.
Yeah.
But man, let's get
Let's
into
get to it,
predictions.
man. Yeah. We man, United, y'all some bums for
We
real. Do
let's start
not
off. I'll
let us
start off.
finish above you. I'm just gonna say it right now. Do
Yeah,
not
No,
man.
you're
let
not.
us finish above you
I
because y'all
really
some
don't want
bums
to
for
finish
real.
below you guys.
Y'all
Yeah.
some bums for real. I ain't
Don't
gonna
worry
hold you.
about it. Don't worry.
But
We won't. You
predictions.
won't.
I'll start with Chelsea. Midweek. I think tomorrow, right? We see
Yeah,
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Big game. Big
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 game.
game.
Look, I said this once and I'll say it again. Without Cole Palmer, we're nothing.
Yep.
So if he doesn't play, I'll let you know right now we will not win. But with him, we have a fighting chance.
Mhm.
I always think that we can spoil Arsenal's day, but we already have a very long injured reserve sheet, including Cole Palmer as of right now. So I don't know where we're at.
He's hurt or no? He's sick.
Sick, yeah.
Man, he don't play, man. They just
Man, he's hungover. That's what he is.
nah.
He's hungover. That's all he
He
is.
needs an excuse if he doesn't play well.
Anyway, yeah.
He's tired of Jackson.
Anyway, give him some time off, bro. This year means nothing for him. You know, it would be
Yeah.
nice if he wins the Golden Boot, but he's not going to. So
Nah, it's a big year for him. It's for him to go to
yeah,
Europe.
no. I honestly like if he needs the few days off, I'm willing to give him the few days off because if there's one match we can win, it's the second match this week we have against Villa because it's a get back. Villa's kind of smacked us up earlier this year.
Yeah.
And I know how good they are, but I think if we're almost full strength, I think we beat them.
They're looking for us because we did it to them in FA Cup at their
Yep.
crib.
They
They
look
have to go back there, so
Yep.
Hold on.
Shouldn't
So
be interesting.
Arsenal versus Chelsea. You think that you guys are gonna beat
I
them
like
tomorrow?
from what I've seen and read these past 24 hours, I don't think Cole Palmer is going to play. He's our best player. So I don't along with other players as well who started this last match. So for me, no, I don't think we win against Arsenal, who's fighting for the league right now. But I'll say again, I think we've played all the top 4, top 6 teams well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we take points, but I think we lose
1-1
if we don't have CP.
I'm going with 1-1.
Villa over the weekend, I think we win.
I don't expect us to win at Villa.
Wow.
I think
we
they're
win.
waiting for us. They're waiting for us. So
I think this will be a statement game, and it'll prove who will be next year. But if we win,
I really want us to be. I want to be wrong. So please.
I think we beat Villa on a 2-1 smash and grab. Dead ass.
So Mike, what do you think? Arsenal Chelsea.
1-1. Yeah. I think it'll be 1-1. The big games we show up, so I know we will give them something, but I know we will probably concede. So
I think you guys will
I'll go
definitely
1-1.
concede. I think you guys will concede multiple. I think
Multiple.
Arsenal is kicked out of the Champions League, bro. They are going to be gunning for y'all. No pun intended. They are going to be gunning for y'all.
Yeah.
I think that's my lock of the week. Arsenal -1. But yeah, we play Sheffield at home. Sheffield is one of the worst teams in the Premier League this season, so I think it'll be a difficult game for us.
Sheffield is the worst team in the Premier, or is it Luton? No, Sheffield. They're the worst team in the league, right?
Yeah, but
They are the worst team.
I think they have shown better patterns of play than we have. So I
Look at Salam. Have some shame, bro.
What?
Have some shame.
He's setting it up.
You see what Anthony did?
Oh my god!
Bro, I put this up on my story. I was like, someone was in my DM like, "Wow, like you have no shame." I was like, "Absolutely nothing. I am cold blooded, absolutely no shame." I looked at him like this.
Mm. Anthony, man, funniest for the season.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
but
funny.
yeah, no, I think we win at Old Trafford.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have enough. So he just needs to leave Garnacho on. But let's do a quick.
We'll have enough. That
Oh,
sounds that don't sound confident. We'll have enough. That
yeah,
was like when the Cavs slogan for the playoffs is "whatever it takes." I was like,
whatever it
uh-huh.
takes.
that don't sound good.
We
Hold on,
sound
That
let's
sound like
scared.
we reach it. Whatever,
Yeah.
whatever it takes. Like,
whatever it
Was it
takes.
2018?
no, this
Yeah,
was a couple of years
Was
ago.
it last year?
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
year?
yeah. It was
Yeah,
last
last year. Yeah.
year. It was last
strength in numbers.
year. Yes, shit, type shit.
So
That
don't
was
strength in-
say
funny.
that. That
Oh
that
man.
thing hunts me.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was that year.
Yeah, you know where
No
that
You
years.
comes
see what I'm
from.
saying?
Oh
Like
my
you don't want to hear
gosh.
those. It don't
Yeah.
even sound right.
Strength in numbers. Now let's quickly preview two big games: Everton versus Liverpool.
The
Um,
Merseyside Derby.
Merseyside.
Merseyside Derby. That's at Everton.
Liverpool has to win. Like both of those teams, Liverpool and Arsenal have to win out. Liverpool
Yep.
has to.
I'm sorry, it's at the same time as our game. I'll definitely be watching our game, but um, yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool drop points here,
Liverpool will win. Liverpool will win.
and then Brighton versus Man City. Man City away from home.
They're getting washed. Brighton's getting
Brighton,
washed.
yeah, Brighton. I don't know what's going on with them this season. De Zerbi has clearly checked out.
He's checked out. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Something happened over there that he didn't like,
yeah.
and he's definitely checked out.
Where is he
Have
from?
you Italy.
Mm.
Have you guys noticed how he doesn't play that young striker anymore?
Oh, Ferguson.
Ferguson. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nobody's talking
No, I
about it
actually
though.
haven't.
He doesn't play him. He plays Welbeck and what's his
You're
name?
right. He started playing Welbeck a lot more. He started
And the
starting Welbeck.
Brazilian
Who,
dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he's trying to get his price
Yeah.
up. He's trying to get well back a late Euro shout.
I actually, bro, I like
Yeah.
Ferguson. I put him in like the
I do fuck. I like Ferguson.
like the Jared Bowen type vibes. Like he gives me
Yeah.
like he's gonna be one of those type. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. But you're
I
right,
just
Mike.
can't-
I didn't even peep that. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's good
Yeah.
awareness. I did not even realize.
Brighton is one of the teams I hate, so I low key keep an eye on them. I just watch them just to watch them lose. I can't stand Brighton.
I mean, that's your
I
team
hate
though, Brighton. You guys are
We're really the same.
Brighton is to Chelsea as Southampton is to Liverpool.
Yep.
It's just good business. You know what I'm
Yeah.
That's
saying?
good business.
Good
Yeah.
business.
Good
They
business.
finessed us
No, you
every
guys are
time.
just lazy. You don't
they've
want to.
finessed us a
You're
few
just
times.
lazy. You don't want to do the work.
I'm still trying to give him back Cucurella.
I hope.
All right. You guys have any shout outs?
Oh man, my shout out has to go to what's his name? The one and only Lunin from Real
Oh, yeah.
Madrid. That performance he put up against City,
Yeah.
you have to give it to him. That was a great performance. That's my shout out. And oh yeah, what's his name? Bayer Leverkusen. Shout
Yeah.
them out too.
Yeah, we shouted them out last week. Shout out Inter Milan for winning the Serie A.
Yeah.
Marcus Thuram and them, man. And obviously shout out all the Coventry fans.
VAR. Shout out VAR.
Shout out to all the Coventry fans. I swear to God. Shout out to all y'all. The way that they celebrated. Bro, I will
Honestly,
never I could not describe to you what that feeling was. When I saw the fourth one go in, I was like, there is no way.
I think
no way.
Brilliant.
Lam,
To the
I had my text loaded just in case.
No, I know.
was telling them.
locked
Just
it-
think-
I had
know.
the songs
As good
loaded.
as, bro, I hit send so fast.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
man.
know. But
I
it's
was
all
gonna
good.
say shout out. Honestly, shout out Haji Wright, man, because
That was dope. Yeah.
for the last couple of years I've been saying that the US does we need a number 9. We haven't had a striker, and I think our defense has gotten decent.
Oh
Our
yeah.
midfield is solid now with who we have playing in Europe, and I think we have attackers, especially wingers, that if Gio Reyna can get his head on straight, we have Pulisic if he can stay healthy, and we have others. I'm just saying those two off top, but we have midfielders and we have wingers that can play.
Yeah.
If we can get a 9, I've been saying that for the last couple of years, and it was evident this past World Cup when we played Netherlands. We needed somebody who could score. That like we had chances. You know what I'm saying? Haji Wright,
I think he did score in the Netherlands game, didn't he?
and that's what
I
I
Yeah,
was
think
going
he
yeah.
to say,
did.
bro.
He
He
did
came
score.
on as a sub and he scored on
Yep.
that real trash goal, but he scored. This year, I'm looking at him like, yo, he has 13 on in the championship. He's the leading scorer for Coventry, who's top 6. They potentially could be in a plane and make it to the Prem next year. I'm looking at this team like, yo, this guy can be one, because we haven't had a 9 yet, and I honestly have never seen him play for real until this Coventry versus United match, and I was impressed. So shout out Haji Wright. If
Yeah,
there's
man.
one guy leading the number 9 race for me, it's him right now.
Over Balogun?
What is Balogun doing
I
this year?
forgot about Balogun. I forgot about Balogun. You're right. You're
No,
right.
this
I
is
heard he's
You're
not
right.
even getting
I forgot
time
he's
at
American. I forgot he's
I
Honor.
like
American.
Haji.
I
HW.
forgot. You're right, Salam. I forgot he's American. Damn, you're
Nah,
right.
yeah, HW. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. We gotta give. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
FB.
yeah, you're right. Damn, he is American now. That's crazy.
No, but definitely like him
But
like
Haji, I wouldn't be mind.
he's
I
in
wouldn't
there.
mind. I wouldn't even mind if we need to throw Balogun on a wing or a 10 role just to have both of them on the pitch. Seriously,
Haji's the prototype.
I
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of I like
Balogun
him
is
there.
I
just,
like
But
him.
you're right.
yeah.
Balogun could be our 10. We can have them play
Yeah.
off. Man, I
No, you
miss the
got
days
Captain
where
America though.
Yeah. Balogun the 10, nah.
Yeah. Captain
Cornelius, someone
America.
has to hold bench. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like someone
okay.
has to, it's okay. It's a 23-man roster. Like everybody can't play, but
everybody can play, man. Everybody can play.
nah,
Let me
but
look up my
Haji's
formation. I'll
definitely
come
a
back
good
to
shout.
y'all. I'll come back.
Haji's
Yeah,
definitely
man.
a good shout,
But
man.
no, I like him, man. Shout out to Haji. He showed me something.
I got one more. Shout out ETH, man. Shout out Eric Ten
You're
Hag.
cap. You don't even believe that.
No, that's my guy, man.
You don't believe that.
No, but two things can be true. I want him gone, but that's my guy. That's
I'm
my
telling
guy.
you, so I hasn't backed the manager like this.
No, I haven't
Crazy
because
man.
I know the players, man. I know the players. I know.
The
I know.
players.
The Travis Scott song.
Oh man.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
guys.
All right, man.
Good
Good
show.
show, everybody. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and as